Hello everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of accounting and financial management for bankers. And before we proceed further with the analysis, there's something important that I have to discuss is basically congratulating all the people who have got the best marks in our leaderboard in terms of our AFM readiness test. So how do we look at it? Where do we exactly stand and who are the lucky ones who have got into the top 10 there. So let's look at it. Go on to our website, everyone, that is www.adda247.com. Go on to the same area of the testing. Here you will find AFM readiness test. The result is here, everyone. The people who have gone for this examination from 29th March to 31st of March, everybody just log in and you can check it out. Preeti ma'am, congratulations. Naveen sir, Sachin sir, Jayant sir, Bikram Singh sir. Then we have it is actually in this case, everyone. This is number one. Is basically Preeti ma'am. Then is Tej Rajani sir. Then we have Naveen sir. Then we have an account name Hercules Roy, and then we have Sachin sir. Then we have Huma ma'am. Then we have Jayant sir at seventh position. At eighth we have Apurva ma'am, and then we have Bikram sir, and the last is Jyoti ma'am. So I think we have got good number of people out there, a blend of both the genders in terms of the examination. So giving a tough competition to each other, definitely. So congratulations for getting into the top 10, everyone. So everyone, please keep an eye. The solutions of the same is also available. I'll be discussing the entire solutions now. So please share the session. Don't forget to like it and stay tuned till the very end as I'm going to discuss the entire 100 questions and I'm going to solve the questions with you as well. So please keep your calculators handy. So let's proceed further, everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the area of accounting and financial management for bankers. And today, what are we talking about? As you already know, we had conducted a specific readiness test for accounting and financial management. So today I'm going to talk about the questions that were there in the particular test. So let's look at the analysis, everyone. Number one says, what is the primary reason for businesses and entities to keep accurate financial records in accordance with the relevant laws? The first point is, what is the primary reason for businesses? Why are they doing it? To enhance their reputation, or to attract potential investors and stakeholders, to comply with tax laws and other, or to decrease the workload? See, when we look at these kind of questions, why would you keep records? The basic reason for keeping the records is only one, that is, it is required by the law. One of the basic reasons is always the law scares you. Okay, oh, if you won't do this, this will happen. If you don't do that, this will happen. So in this case, the correct answer is C. The second question in the test was related to the area of question number 2 was regarding GAAP and IFRS. Everyone, my basic purpose of discussing is to let you know where exactly you might have gone wrong. The entire questions would be discussed in terms of the answers there, right? So first of all, please share the session and also like it as well. Chale, let's continue further, everyone. It says, which statement accurately reflects the approach of fixed asset valuation under GAAP and IFRS? We talk about GAAP, we talk about IFRS. The rule is one. You always follow two things. First is you have to follow your cost. That is your historical cost. That means whatever price you have paid for it, and revaluation. When you are selling the asset, when there is something major happening in the organization, then you revalue. So in this area, cost model, it says under GAAP and fixed assets are valued under CA cost model, where IFRS allows cost model and revaluation. I think if we go look forward towards the answer, the correct answer is going to be A only. The difference is GAAP says either they are going to talk about cost, and IFRS is fine as both. In terms of IFRS, you will find cost model as well as the revaluation model. Third question relates to the area of, you can see the marking scheme as well, everyone. A company receives a check of 500, records in the cash book, and deposits it on the same day. A statement sent by the bank that does not show 500. This is a problem of bank reconciliation statement. Why? I thought I have received 500 rupees. This is my thought process, everyone, that I have received 500 rupees. But did I receive in the same in the passbook? Passbook will say no. Then what is the difference? In terms of my cash book, my passbook is varying. My passbook says a different value, cash book says a different value. So in this case, an unpresented check added in the bank statement, an uncredited deposit in the bank statement. This is from the point of view of bank statement. That means when we were comparing, there was a fight going on between the cash book and the passbook. And who won, everyone? In this case, since we are making from the point of view of passbook, passbook will add up. They are not actually adding up in the passbook, but we are actually adding up in the statement. So in this case, what's exactly happening is, in the statement, if your cash book says I have added money, passbook will agree to it, thinking about the fact that they are just trying to find the differences between the two. You know? If they're talking about the differences between the two, then in this case, the correct answer is going to be C. That is an uncredited deposit. The amount which is not yet there in the bank statement yet has to be added in the bank statement balance. The answer is C, everyone. Okay, in the second question, it was A. Now let's move on to the next question. A plant of 3000 was sold for 4200. Depreciation provision till date was 400. Commission paid for selling was 350. Labor charges paid for removing the plant was 100. When you have these kind of things, everyone, obviously when we're trying to find these values, let me show you how to do this question. First of all, you have your book value at rupees 3000 less depreciation till date was 400, giving you a value of 2600 rupees. This is your value. I said I received 4200, but did I receive 4200? No, because I paid 350 to the selling agent, and I also had to pay 100 to remove the particular thing. So in order to sell, I had to work harder even. You know? So in this case, what's going to be the answer? In this case, we have 4200 minus 350 minus 100. That is, its current value is 3750. Now, I sold something for 3750, which value is at 2600. So the difference between 3750 and 2600 is rupees 1150. So the answer is actually C. Done. That's the next question. Acha. Here comes another question, everyone. This specific question relates to the area of numericals. Okay. Now let's look at this numerical question. This is related to the area of COGS. Opening stock is given, purchases are given, direct expenses are given, indirect expenses are given, and closing stock are given. The values are also given in answer. Formula for COGS is equal to opening stock plus purchase plus direct expense minus closing stock. Can I say in this case, opening stock was 8500, purchases was 30,700, direct expenses were 4800. But everyone, I am leaving the portion of indirect expense. Reason? Indirect expenses are not related to production. They are related to something else. That is, they are a part of selling of the particular thing, not of the production. So that minus 9000 giving me an answer of what, everyone? Go ahead and try it and solve it. The correct answer is actually, the answer would be 8500 plus 30,700 plus 4800 minus 9,000, giving me an answer of rupees 35,000. The answer is B. ठीक है ना? In the next question, another numerical. Original cost is given, established estimated life is given, salvage value is given. They've asked the rate of depreciation. This is the formula of straight line method, which is original cost minus salvage value divided by life. This means you take 1,50,000 minus 3,000 divided by 5 years. The answer comes out to be rupees 19,400. Sorry, 29,400. This is your per annum expense. That means, everyone, this is my depreciation per annum. If I know my depreciation, what next can be done? This is SLM method, original cost minus salvage value divided by life. This formula is used. Then when we are trying to find the value there, what did I do? I need in percentage. So for percentage, it is depreciation percentage is equal to depreciation per annum divided by original cost, which is 29,400 divided by 1,50,000. The answer in this question is 19.6%. These are easy questions. This is a 1 marker easy question. One of the basic formulas. Next question. LMN Enterprises maintains a cash book. On 15th, the company received cash sales of 5,000. On the same date, it paid 1,200. They received 5,000. Then they paid for 1,200. Everyone, when I receive money, what's the rule of cash? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So in this case, on the debit side, I am receiving cash. On the credit side, I am losing money. So what would be the case? First was I received cash, na? That is debit cash, credit sales, that is correct. But in the second case, I'm losing cash. So the cash should be on the credit side. So in this case, the correct answer would be A. Cash to sales and office supplies to cash. The answer is A. What is the core principle guiding the double entry bookkeeping method? Core principle of double entry simply means everything has to be recorded on the basis of dual system. Everyone, what does it mean? Dual system means, see, if I bought this pen, I got the pen and I made a payment to you. So technically I am receiving money and I am paying it for it. I'm paying for I'm paying for this particular pen now. I'm receiving this pen and I'm paying money. So in this case, it is about one thing is coming and one thing is going. So in this case, the correct answer was documenting transactions impacting two different accounts in opposing ways. That means if you look at these kind of questions, you can look at the entire part. First says singular financial, second says three is out, single is out, solely involving goods. Other than goods, there are so many things to be considered. Did you notice that every time I'm doing a numerical, I am not paying attention to the options there? You should always solve a numerical first. Sometimes the numericals can be solved in a very easy manner rather than looking at the options, because looking at options is sometimes a time waste. So always make sure you are doing the numerical first and then looking forward to it. Now the answer was ready. Double entry means we are looking forward towards something which talks about two different things. Double means two, so this was the answer. You can save your time, do the questions in a better way if you do it this way. Which option represents the transaction that doesn't necessitate an adjustment in cash book, thereby causing differences between cash book and passbook? There are certain things which are not available in cash book. Bank charges applied by bank, check deposited and yet to be collected, and check drawn but not cashed, or interest which is credited on the saving account. In this case, the checks which I've given to the trader, I thought he has taken out the money, you know. I will always think the money is gone, but till the time he hasn't taken the money out, there is no movement in it. So in this case, the correct answer is C, everyone. Next question. A company purchased a machine of rupees 1 lakh with an estimated total of 50,000. So can I say the value was 1 lakh? In the first year you produce 8,000. Using this unit of production method, unit of production is basically total value multiplied by number of units divided by total units. So in this case you have to use this method. This is production method. The more you produce, the charges would be accordingly. Done. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? The answer is going to be 16,000. After cutting, you will get 16. Next is, which of the listed expenses is typically classified as revenue? Revenue expenditures are those expenditure where we actually just are including it to increase our business. There is nothing else that we are doing. We're just trying to increase our business. Acquiring land for future use, annual insurance, obtaining patents, or office rebuilding renovation. When we talk about question number 11, the correct answer would be insurance. We are not getting any asset out of this. This is just a mere expense. What is the key difference between bills of exchange and promissory note? Bills of exchange is somehow, it's an order. And promissory note is basically a promise. I promise you to pay this much amount of money. So in this case, you should look forward towards the option which says one is an one point where we are talking about bills of exchange will always remain in order. I order you to pay this much amount of money after this much amount of time. We define it that way. So in this case, let's look at the points. A bills of exchange represents an unconditional order. Here we have got the answer in the very first point. Unconditional order, you don't have conditions for this. And while promissory note signifies an unconditional promise. This is the point. Rest everything like debtor and creditor based, it is not related to that. Then the acceptance of debtor is required. No. This is the difference we are trying to find. Now, where are they going different? There are no 2-party, 3-party. It's actually opposite. Bills of exchange has 3 parties normally. Because one is accepting, one is giving. Bill payable, bill receivable. You can pay the person with whom I will order. That is the point to be considered here. Okay. Done. Now let's move on to the next question. According to AS10 property, plant and equipment, what is the meaning of, I just said it, PPE is property, plant and equipment. There are professional property evaluation, personal property examination, proven plant efficiency. This is related to the fixed assets. This is also called fixed assets. Easy. What is the realm of accounting? Which principle underscores a distinction between actual movement of cash and underlying duty? Acha, everyone, this particular concept talks about the money movement, no, altogether. It is not talking about anything else. Actual movement of cash, distinction, which says that there is a difference. Sometimes I will tell you that I will pay and sometimes I don't pay. All those things would be there. So when we are considering all these issues, then what will we do? Is it matching concept? Matching related to expenses and incomes, accrual, consistency, or materiality. In such a case, it is the due basis concept, because we're talking about distinguishing between cash and the cash which would be received later, something which is entitled. Entitled matlab you have the right to receive it later. Pure theory question. Here comes a 2-marker practical question. This is related to the area of bank reconciliation statement, which says the cash book of the company is 50,000. Acha. In the cash book, I am having 50,000 rupees. We're making it from the point of view of a normal businessman, not from the point of view of a bank. A deposit of 3,000 made on the last day of the month was not recorded in the cash book. Everyone, the point is, I came to know कि देखिए, this is my cash book, this is my passbook. I came to know that some money was added in the passbook. If passbook increases na, then cash book will also have to increase accordingly. Because in this case, the fight between these two is kind of reconciled by cash book. Whatever passbook would have done, you will do the same thing to find out where the passbook is exactly standing and how do I reach to the point where the passbook is. So in this case, what am I going to do? Wherever the passbook is, I will follow. Passbook said plus 3,000, I will do that plus 3,000. Passbook said na, bank charges 100 were not recorded. Passbook said the money is deducted from your bank. I will agree. मैं कहा हाँ जी sir, because I am trying to reconcile with passbook na. I am reaching out to passbook, so I'll have to deduct. Then a check issued for 1020 was incorrectly recorded in the cash book. See, I got 1020, I recorded 1200. If my cash book is at any place other than my cash book, passbook overall, this is the passbook. Now, wherever the passbook is, I have to reach back to the same position. So in this case, I thought I have got 1200 while I have got 1020. The error is for how much amount, everyone? The error is exactly of 180 rupees then. That means I have to come back by 180. Now calculate the answer. This will never help you to look at 5, 1, 0, 2, 0, 50, 420. This thing will never help you. What will help you is to find out that particular amount that is there. So in this case, the answer is going to be 53,080. This is the answer. Done. Which component of the trial balance includes based upon Mr. Carter's explanation? Solely debit and credit, or debit and credit balances, cash balances from the cash book, only debit and credit balance of ledger without the cash. Trial balance is what? Trial balance includes everything from the ledger. Even if Mr. Carter's name was not given, then even always remember, trial balance is a summary of multiple things. If it is a summary of multiple things, then everything which is given in the ledger has to be taken up. So in this case, the correct answer is going to be debit and credit balances, including cash, bank, everything. Wherever you have taken those, it has to be included. Next question. Which option does not accurately describe the trial balance? Trial balance, it is a list of debit and credit in the ledger. See, the first point is definitely true, I think. Visible clearly now? The entire question. The first point is actually true. The question says does not. So, matlab A is out. So, this means this and this is out. It includes cash and bank balances. It does. So, that means B is also there. Then this is also out. Even if I don't read the entire question, everyone, how to do the questions quickly in the exam. You know, we just previous question said the trial balance includes debit and credit balances. That means A part is eliminated. Second says it includes cash and bank. It is also there in the previous question only. That means you got your answer from the previous question. All these points are absolutely correct about trial balance. It helps in the preparation of final accounts. Yes, it does. That's what called secondary books of accounts. It informs the trader about amount receivable from customer. True. It typically is prepared at the year end. Sometimes it is prepared monthly and as well as semi-annually as well. This is also true. Arithmetical accuracy check is also true. It's not a conclusive proof. This is also correct. Now comes the next point, everyone. Just keep a check on the statements, not at the options. The more you are focusing on your studies now, you will see that you can do the questions through the points only. Next question says, compared to the ledger accounts, banks are more diligent and consistent in updating the primary books as such as cash books or journals. No, this is not true. Banks normally are involved in they are involved in the secondary books first. They're looking at individual accounts and then they prepare it. So there for them, posting into my personal account is more important than putting up other things, because I will come to them ki sir, my account is not updated yet. So this part is definitely wrong. Anywhere you find statement 1, just put a cross to it. Second point says banks predominantly employ a voucher posting. Yes, they do. And vouchers are directly posted in the individual accounts. This is also true. So I think the point can be only 1, 2, and 3. Because this is true, then statement B is true. Everyone, there's not even a need to read the remaining 2. Right? This is the power of elimination when you are doing the questions in lesser time. The preparation of general ledger is daily routine at the end of each banking period. So in this case, the answer is B. Okay. Next question. Which description correctly characterizes the straight line method of depreciation? SLM. SLM has same amount of depreciation every single year. So this technique is percentage changing percentage on remaining balance, or incurs higher expenses in initial years, or depreciation method is equal amounts. Got the answer? This is talking about being equal. So that's the answer. Point number 20. You have got a trial balance, everyone. And the question is asking you, what are the total assets and net profit? I think the best thing would be look at the total assets first. Assets are cash, accounts receivable, closing inventory, prepaid expenses, land. Purchases are expenses. Oops, sorry. Sales, rent, everything else is different. Just total the above 4, which says 8,000 plus 12,000 plus 15,000 plus 1,500 plus 30,000, giving me an answer of 66,500. Only 1 point has the answer. See, even if I don't calculate the net profit, I have still got the answer. Power of solving the questions on the basis of understanding it. Assets are those things which are helping our business to grow further. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? The answer is B. How do we find the profit? Simple. Look at your incomes and expenses. Income is sales. Expenses are these. You haven't received any other income. Income means the money that you're receiving for your business. So you have your 60,000 minus 30,000 minus 5,000 minus 7,000. My answer comes out to be 18. So this question is absolutely correct. That is income minus expenses. What constitutes a foundation of risk-based internal audit? Internal audit where they know that there is some risk involved and we accept that part. We know that it is existing and we are looking forward towards policies which will help us to work properly. So this is not about technological solutions, allocation of budgets. This can be external auditors or for functionality, identification of risk and uncovering fraud. But a clearly established internal policy, independence and function professionally competent audit. We're looking at risk-based audit, everyone. That means in this case, indeed, this is related to the area of risk management, but this is actually an internal policy. The base is B. Meaning is definitely, the base is C. Meaning is definitely related to identification, functionality, covering the frauds. All these things are definitely included. What is the correct order to record accounting entries in bank? In terms of bank, they will put up in your personal ledgers and then this would be taken to your main ledger, because individual accounts has to be shown now. Individual accounts are changing, then there's a problem. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? 22nd. Normally when we talk about the format now, that particular point is not there. Individual accounts and then the general ledger, they are not given. So I think in this case I will go for A. First of all, you write your journal, then you make the tabular form of it. So the answer here would be 22 is A. Everyone, what do you mean by partnership? Partnership is basically two or more parties coming together, forming a business relationship and having a profit share. Then business collaborator, stockholder, or comparative venture. It's not a comparative venture. It's not comparing the organization with others. It is actually trying to earn your own profits. That is profits and duties of the business. That is D. Dash refers to the funds which an organization must possess on day to day. Something which they should have on a daily basis. Everyone, daily basis means if anybody asks me, then Niharika ma'am, pay this much amount today, I should be having that much amount. So that means I'm looking at working capital. Retained earnings are savings. Fixed capital is the fixity of amount which is always there. And all of the above is definitely wrong because first two are wrong. So answer is C. Which of the following statements are true about standard labor time? This is the time that we determine that this is the time which is definitely required. Standard labor time indicates the hours which is for a specified process. It is based upon basis past experience with no adjustments. No, it is based upon adjustments. In this, you should not be given fatigue and tool setting. It is given because humans are subjected to being tired. They get tired, they get frustrated, they have problems, है ना? Then production manager does not provide. Only one is correct. A. A is the answer. Then the next part is standard costing committee is responsible for computation of variances. They are linking the deviations and setting all types of standards. All these things are a working of this particular committee only. They always have to look at the current standards. They have to prepare the future standards. They have to be very vigilant about these things. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? The answer here is all of the above. Marginal costing is also known as. पता है? Marginal costing is also, the synonym of marginal costing is variable. ठीक है? And variable costing is also direct costing. All the direct costs are variable. Direct material can vary with your consumption. Direct labor will vary if you want more labor, less labor. And direct expenses will also change based upon both of these. So I'll go for both direct and variable cost. But synonym of marginal costing is also variable costing. Fill in the blanks, everyone. In specialized functions like Dash and Forex, the back offices perform the mainstream role. That means they are looking at the work of the mainstream. They are doing the most important work. Because they are checking the things from the trading room or front room. They are looking at, and the back office functions relating to normal banking activities can be grouped under dash. They're looking at normal working. When they're doing normal working, it's management accounting. No. Treasury operations, that can be there. Treasury and forex both are very important, and backend plays a very important role in reporting, bookkeeping and accounting. So I'll go for B here. Everyone, CS, statutory company, sorry, chartered company. Chartered company is created by the king or the queen. So for the first, it should be B. 1B is there in only 2. So these 3 are gone. Statutory is created by a specific legislature. 2 should be D. So we have got the answer. Registered company is the one which is considered under Companies Act. Companies Act 2013. Foreign company is the one which is made outside India. This is not in India. 4A. So we have got the answer. See, in the very beginning of the question, I could find the answer. Power of understanding these points. Everyone, go ahead and find the profit. Sales, purchases, opening stock, closing stock, as well as expenses. First of all, find the COGS. That's one of the best things that we can do. Cost is 80,000. Sorry, opening stock is 20. Plus purchases 80. Plus expenses 30. Assuming this is a direct expense. And of course, every expense has to be added. Then closing is 15. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? 20,000 plus 80,000 plus 30,000 minus 15,000. What's going to be the answer? What is your cost coming up, everyone? My cost is 115,000. This is my cost. Sales is 1,80,000. Then what's the value of overall sales? 115,000 minus 1,80,000 will give us 65. Done. What is the advisable duration for a term of internal audit? Minimum 1 year, 2 year, 3 year or 5 year? The answer is minimum 3 years. Okay? Based on the ownership, what defines the government company? A company is basically the one which is owned by the government more than 50%. It should be having center, state or anybody. So in this case, it has to be more than 50%. Not 50, but more than 50. More than half should be there. So in this case, 51% is given here. The company where central government, state government or both of them are holding more than 51%. 50 means they are at minimum. You are having 50, I am having 50. We can fight over it. But if we are both at 50, if I'm at 51, you are at 50, then I win. Done. Let's continue with this question from cash flow. We have to calculate cash flow from financing activities. Finance means borrowings or equity based, right? Issuance of common stock, that means we are issuing securities or shares in this case, right? Then the next part would be payment of the long term assets, है ना? That is also there. Then this is also a negative point. We have given 20,000, but we received 30. We paid a dividend of 15,000 and repurchase of treasury stock. Matlab, we have got it back. If we have got it back, then I would have lost 5,000 more because I've asked people to pay me back. So this comes out to be 15. This is coming out to be negative is more. It is minus 40. Positive is less, giving us the answer of minus 10. Done, everyone? चलिए next point. A business has an assets of 3 lakh. Assets is equal to, how do we make our assets, everyone? Liabilities plus capital. Liabilities are of 1,80,000, but I don't know how much money I have invested. The money that I took from outsiders is 1,80,000. See, if I made something of 1 lakh, 3 lakhs, if I made something of 3 lakh rupees, then if it is of 3 lakh rupees, then either I'll use my money or I use someone else's money. है ना? So in this case 3 lakh minus 1,80,000, giving us the answer as D, 1,20,000. Done. What is the main source of historical data? The main source of historical data is what? Analysis from market research, financial statements, predictive or comparative studies. Historical data means the data which is used, which is past. One of the basic problems of accounting is it is always past based. That is financial statements. Done. What is the main goal of utilizing ratios? See, ratios are calculated as an analysis. The basic reason we calculate ratios, cash flows, this is only one. That is, we are analyzing the statements. This is not to compute the total assets. This is not for conducting any comparisons. It is purely based upon analyzing the firm's situation. Done. Which formula accurately represents the calculation of profit? Profit is basically a situation where your sales is more than your cost. Do you remember? We just did the formula. Sales is minus opening stock plus purchase plus expenses minus closing stock. You remember the formula? We did that. Opening stock plus purchase plus direct expenses minus closing stock. So this is just basically a teaser question which has got all of these but in a jumbled form. Next question. How is accounting relationship between bank's branch and the head office characterized? And what are the implications? See, both of them are preparing their books of accounts and they both need to reconcile. That's the rule. Reconciliation has to be done because both of them are preparing and maintaining their books of accounts. So in this case, look out for the point. Branches have their own capital. Not really. They help. They take a help of the main office as a lot. Then transaction of deposits and loans are treated if the conducted directly to the head office. No, ऐसा भी नहीं है. Influencing the aggregate financial statements. Aggregate is never done with this. Done. Next is transaction of the branch level such as deposits are considered dealings in the head office. They are. Interest rate applied by the head office plays a significant role because whatever the head office says, that is considered to be the main fact. The transactions are balanced out in consolidation process. Yes, we're looking at our and theirs. है ना? Then not impacting the bank's overall statements. So I'll go for C point only. This considers all the points together. Done. Then comes Mr. Shubham runs a company ABC. Here are some of the facts there. Net income is this. Their dividend paid is this. Company issued 50,000 and 20,000 common shares at the beginning and in the middle of the year. You have to find the earning per share, everyone. EPS is earning per share. What is the income that we are earning in one particular year? See, in this case, we have to use net profit divided by weighted average number of shares. Since we have got 50 and 20 there, you know, so can we do this that 50 is gonna be in the beginning of the year, but this 20 was added in the mid, so 20 divided by 2, this becomes 50,000 plus 10,000. That means my total number of shares are of 60,000 and I have got an amount of overall 5 lakh rupees. But from this we have also paid dividend to the preference shareholder as well, है ना? First of all, we'll pay the preference shareholder, then we will pay the equity. So can I say we are left with only 4,50,000 rupees for equity and we have got 60,000 people to pay. So 4,50,000 divided by 60,000 giving us an amount of 7.5. Earning per share is the amount that we are receiving. ठीक है? चलिए, let's move on to the next question. What is the function of the third party vendors in terms of ATM by the banks? When we look at the third party, normally what they see is they're just looking at the third party is just here for the basic checking, है ना? They're not doing anything else. They're just monitoring the areas of the cash levels across the different branches. Is there any point that matches this area? Facilitating between no, this is not. They are not there between customer and merchant. They ensure ATMs are replenished with cash. No, they're not worried about the replenishment as well. They are looking at a situation where okay, in terms of third party vendors, hold on, when we talk about the third party vendors, now normally these people are hired so that they can actually go and fill up the ATMs, right? For ATMs they are basically maintained for that. Uniform monitoring is basically a part of it. Whenever the cash is over in a particular area, they will fill it up. So I think I'll go with B only. B is a better answer than C. Okay. Then comes next one. What distinguishes the preparation of final accounts of sole proprietorship and partnership from that limited companies? See, I think when we talk about sole proprietorship and partnership, it is simpler. In terms of limited companies, they have a lot of other things to do. Everybody is preparing for 1 year. but they do not have to follow the Companies Act, which these people are supposed to follow, and they are supposed to follow badly. That they cannot go against the company law. So that would be the answer. What is the element of code of conduct? Ethics, everyone. Code of conduct. Corporate responsibility is an ethics. Law abiding is also an ethic. And if you are the one who is reporting, this is whistleblowing, right? In terms of whistleblowing, what will happen? In terms of whistleblowing, you are supposed to protect the person who disclosed the defaults or the frauds. So the answer is actually D. Under which of the following provisions the Companies Act are limited companies mandated to annually prepare their books of accounts? Everyone, they are supposed to do this under section 129. This section you must learn because these basic sections are asked. Which of the following statements about the account heads in the profit and loss ledger of the bank is incorrect? The account heads in profit and loss account are detailed more extensively for managerial purposes than what is presented in the published accounts. Overdraft accounts are typically separate. Is this the case? Or each control account in general ledger is supported by the subsidies, or various deposit like saving have individual customer accounts? Among the following, which is incorrect? When we talk about question number 44 now, I think everything else is correct. There are separate ledgers prepared. We have to keep accounts individually. So the answer would be overdrafts. Overdraft accounts are typically kept in separate ledgers. This is not kept as a separate ledger. Okay? Next is which innovation has accelerated the process of remittances within the banking industry? In terms of remittances, if we have to send money and receive money, electronic fund transfer, RTGS, NEFT, IMPS, they have made the things way easier. Okay, another practical question, everyone. Current liabilities are given, current assets are given, and inventories, advance tax, and prepaid expenses are given, and we are supposed to calculate liquid ratio. Under liquid ratio, that we have liquid assets are all the current assets, but it does not include inventory as well as any prepaid expenses. Even the advance tax is also one of them. So can I say I've got 80,000 rupees in my pocket, but 20,000 has to be reduced, 5,000 has to be reduced, because inventory takes a lot of time to be sold. It's not easy to sell inventory. And also 5,000 for prepaid expenses. So my liquid assets will come out to be, this is 30,000, so 80 minus 30 is 50,000 is our liquid assets. And liquidity ratio is liquid assets upon current liability. This is 50,000 divided by 50,000. That gives us 1:1. Liquid assets are actually the current assets which do not get sold very easily. They take a little while to get sold. Less than a year to complete the tenure, but it takes time. For example, inventory is just unknown. Prepaid expenses, that is for a specific tenure. You cannot recover the money as and when you want. Match the following. Time value of money. Time value of money can be related to the area of whenever we are taking a decision for long-term area for the business. So what would be the answer? Objectives of financial management. Then is it principle of finance or form of business organization? वैसे time value of money is stated as a fundamental principle of finance. So A2 is these three. This one's eliminated. estimating the capital requirements. Whenever we are estimating the capital requirements, this means we are thinking to provide the financial decision. So in this case, estimating the requirements, B will be 4. So we have got 2. Hindu Undead Family. This is a form of organization. This is module D overall. Hindu Undead Family is basically a form of organization. This is C3. So this one is correct. There's only one correct, and that is B. Next question. RBI prepares a panel of chartered accountants for conducting the audits. They do, they need chartered accountants to conduct their audits and all. That is very important area. Then, on the basis of data obtained by ICAI only and finalizes the list of auditors for the banks. RBI prepares the panel on the basis of ICAI. No, that's not only totally dependent on ICAI. Okay, everyone. Done? Chaliye, let's discuss the question further. As per the provisions of the relevant enactments, the auditors of the private banks are appointed by board of directors. The auditors of a public bank are appointed in AGM. See, when we talk about the appointment of directors and all, this is in terms of RBI. This they have to follow in terms of ICI. Agreed. The people are from ICI, but CAG plays an important role too, So this one is definitely wrong. And in terms of private banks, in terms of public banks, both the areas we need AGM. Annual general meeting has to be held. In a private bank, you have an AGM. And in terms of public banks, you have board of directors. So in this case, both the statements are incorrect. Among the following final payouts which is not subjected to TDS: salaries, interest earnings, rent, or rent paid by individuals. So in this case, I think the answer is going to be dividend payments. So even dividend payments are now subjected to dividends are also subjected to TDS beyond rupees 5,000. This was recently done. Much time hasn't passed, but rest everything is already covered under specific sections of 192 further. 192, 194, they're already stated. This is under 194I. Okay, rent area. Now, only area which is exempt up to a certain amount is dividend. Earlier, that was completely exempt. So, in our book, it is dividend. Identify the computer peripherals within the computing environment. The peripherals means all the things which are connected with it. External devices, components, computer, printer. These are the connections with it. That is 50. B. Which option is not represent a cash flow from operating activities? Cash flow from operating means regular business. Regular business payment to employees is regular. Income is regular. Expenditure on acquiring long-term assets. I don't buy assets every single day, everyone. Can I buy a car every single day? Wese I would love to, but then still, the reality is you cannot buy long-term assets every single day, right? Then ABC Limited estimates the total current assets requirement to be 1,50,000 with 90 lakh secured from short-term, financial sources, calculate the necessary margin or net working capital and the firm's current ratio. When we talk about net working margin, that is total current assets minus short-term finance. Take total current assets which were of 1,50,000, remove 90 out of it. So in this case, your answer comes out to be your net working capital. Net working capital is 60 lakhs. And when we are looking at our current ratio, we have 150 divided by current liabilities are 90. 150 by 90, this is CA divided by CL. So the answer to this question would be D, 1.66. Interesting question. First part is current assets, second part is current liabilities. So current ratio is current assets upon current liabilities. Working capital is CA minus CL. Which among the following tasks performed by an accounting system? Everyone? Which among the following are the tasks performed by an accounting system? It captures business transaction. It does. The accounting entries are prepared. Individual entries will lead to financial statement. That is also correct. Financial statements are prepared based on accounting standards. They are prepared as per accounting standards, generally accepted accounting principles, IFRS, Ind AS. All there are various compliances which every organization has to follow depending upon the rules they are subjected to. Then comes various financial reports as well are prepared from data available in financial statements. So I'll go for all. Answer is D. What is the principal focus of a forward rate agreement? What do you mean by forward rate agreement, everyone? Forward rate agreement is basically a futuristic agreement where we will purchase or sell after a certain period. Not today, not tomorrow, but it is based upon future. Okay? So we can look forward towards exchanging, we can deal with it. So if you have a specific deal that is based upon the area of you have fixed rate, I have floating rate. I don't like mine, you don't like yours. We can definitely change it. Swaps are a part of this. Okay? Then the next part is which return must every tax collector submit? Tax collector, everyone, the one who's collecting the tax and submitting it to the income tax department. Whenever you are collecting the tax and then you are submitting it, that is done under the form 27 EQ. TDS return has to be filed under 27 EQ. Fill in the blanks. Commercial paper is unsecured money and it is issued in the form of a. What is it in the form of? Commercial paper. Commercial paper is actually a short-term money market instrument. So I think that is not written here anywhere. So can I say this is actually a promise that we will pay? Agreed. This is not a loan or a bond or debit card for sure. It's a promissory note which you are basically privately placed instrument. You can choose your people with whom you are having these kind of transactions where you will promise them to pay after a certain period of time. From the following information, explain the ITR. ITR ratio is cost of goods sold divided by average stock. Your cost of goods sold can be opening stock plus purchase plus direct expenses minus the closing stock. That is 18,000 in the beginning, plus the purchases are of 46,000. Direct expenses are given as wages. Carriage inwards 4,000, while the closing stock is 22,000. You know? Find your COGS, everyone. The amount is rupees 60,000. Everyone, when such a thing happens, then what will you say? This is the cost of goods sold. The goods that we are selling are sold at this. This is the cost of the thing. And your average stock is 18 plus 22 divided by 2. Opening plus closing divided by 2. 18 plus 22 gives 20,000 divided by 2. So can we say that in this case, when we are trying to look at the question is asking how many times our inventory is prepared and sold. It is done 3 times in a year. Done, everyone? Done, everyone? Let's move on to the next question. Marginal costing. Marginal costing is basically a variable costing, right, which talks about the specific area of marginal. Marginal means you are doing the variable cost. You know, we have just read about it. It encompasses both the recording and reporting of the costs. Right? Then it says that in this method, total costs are divided. This is correct actually. The total costs are divided into fixed cost, variable and semi-variable. This is also true. Our phone costs are variable. Normally it is for all the services, but if you add additional service, then you have to pay more. Only average variable cost is considered. That is also correct. Fixed cost is not included because marginal means variable. Profitability of the product. This is also true. So answer would be E. I think I would say all of these are correct. So all of the above. What is required by the business entities in terms of preparing cash flow statement, everyone? Only the entities publicly listed are required. Everyone? What is the required by the business entities in terms of cash flow statement? Cash flow statement includes inflow and outflow. You know, when we talk about inflow and outflow, only entities publicly listed are required to prepare cash flow. वैसे तो only certain entities are required, but only publicly listed cannot be the point. Then entities following the accounting statements are not required. They are supposed to. Everybody who has to follow AS are required to follow cash flow statement, because if AS are applicable, then cash flow is also there. So yes, that's true. This is AS3 and also known as Ind AS 7. Next question. Under the Income Tax Act, which category encompasses the earnings of self-employed individual, freelancer, and business owner? See, if I'm a business owner, I am self-employed. So then the income from this business is going to be under PGBP, profits and gains from business and profession. Because this is my business. You know, when I earn money from my business, it is covered under point number C. Individual salary is basically your day-to-day working. A business doesn't earn salary. A businessman earn from their freelancing work. He's not making money by working in one particular fixed organization. Rather, he's providing services to multiple organizations. Then comes house properties from our house only. If we put it on rent, capital gains is on asset, which we sell. Compute the simple interest. How can we calculate the simple interest, everyone? How can we calculate the simple interest? The calculation of a simple interest can be done by P into R into T upon 100. This is 8,000 multiplied by 5% multiplied by 2 divided by 100. Then what will be the value? 8,000 multiplied by 5% multiplied by 2 divided by 100. That gives us 8. This is what amount, everyone? Either you write percentage here or the amount. 61st question answer is A. Okay. What key benefit does a computerized accounting system offer? Computerized accounting system basically makes my work easier. Obviously, I can do the work at a very fast pace now. It enables the automatic preparation of full accounts and preparation upon the initial data input. So in this case, the answer is automatic. Things can be done in a way better manner. You know? Then determine the compound interest on the principal amount of 12,000 over 2 years at an annual interest rate of 10% with the interest compounded yearly. Compound interest, everyone. How do we calculate compound interest? That is, compound interest is equal to P into R into T upon 100. Also, this is for simple interest, sorry. Compound interest is equal to P 1 plus R raised to power n. So in this case, the answer is going to be principal is 12,000 and 1 plus 10% raised to power 2. So you have to calculate 1 plus 10% raised to power 2, 1.1 square into 12,000. Your amount in this area has to be calculated on the basis of compound interest, everyone. So my answer comes out to be, my amount comes out to be 14,520. This is amount minus your principal of 12,000. That gives 2,520 as compound interest. Why? Because this formula gives you the amount. Okay? It gives nothing else but the amount. Calculate the principal sum if the difference between the compound interest and simple interest for anything is given as 10% is 128. Everyone, this is for 2 years. Huh? First of all, find the difference between the two. Difference is 128 now. Try it out. This is into R into T upon 100, है ना? This is the formula in first case, and compound interest is more, है ना? So normally what happens is P 1 plus R raised to power n, ठीक है, minus P into R into T is equal to 128. This is the rule. Look at this question very carefully, everyone. That is, I don't know the principle, but I know 1 plus 10% raised to power 2 will give me the compound interest. That is my amount. From this amount, I will remove the principal. Right? I will have to remove the principal and minus P into R is 10% and time is 2 years. So can I say 128 is equal to, let's take P common, I have got 1 plus 10% raised to power 2 minus 1 minus, this comes out to be what? This is basically this is actually currently 0.2p. Calculate this part, calculate this part. Solve your p altogether, everyone, and you will get the answer. 1 plus 10% is 1.1 into square, p into 1.21 minus 1, ठीक है, minus 0.2p is equal to 128. 128 is equal to, again 1.21 minus 1 gives us 0.21. I've got 0.21p minus 0.2p. So I have got 0.01 here, है ना, is 128. P. This comes out to be 128 divided by 0.01. That gives me an amount of 12,800. A very interesting question, but you need time for this question, to be very honest, because even I took my own time to first finish the board mass part, then calculate it on the calculator. So I think this will take a little more time for everyone. Done, everyone? The entire question is solved here. What is the crucial factor to consider when calculating the firm's cost? Crucial factor when calculating the firm's cost. If we are calculating the firm's cost, then how the equity investors perceive risk is the most important thing. If equity share capital says, "Nahi, I do not want much risk," then obviously the value would be different. These people are always ready for any kind of expenses. They are ready for any kind of work. That is why we take them into consideration. You know? So in this case, the answer would come out to be how equity perceive risk. Next point is, what is the primary differentiate between budgeting from budgetary control? When we talk about budgeting and budgetary control, it is based upon only one thing. Budgeting is basically a process and budgetary control is the measure that we are doing. So I think again in this area, I think I can find the word process only in A. Budgeting is a process where budgetary control involves continuous monitoring. You are looking at it. कि अच्छा, are we going against the particular process or are we still following the process? If we are not, then we are supposed to take care of the process. है ना? That is covered under the area of budgeting. Okay, now here comes the next point. That is it to the area of bonds, everyone. An important question. Bond is an important area. Look at this question. A bond has a face value of 3,000, sold at a discount of 5% below the face value. What is the current market price, everyone? What is the discount, everyone? Discount is on the face value. The face value is 3,000. So can I say 3,000 minus 5% of 3,000? 3,000 minus 5% will give us 2,850. The answer is A. It is at a discount. Easy question. Done now, everyone? Let's look at the next question then. What is the applicable GST rate on lease transactions categorized under sales of goods, supply of goods or supply of services? Nil rate, 5%, 12% and GST rates are contingent on leased asset type. Supply of goods and services and supply of services. Acha, everyone, lease is basically somewhere you are giving a particular right to someone to use the particular asset. Okay? It can either be in the area of GST rates in terms of this area, it can either be 5% or 12%. It will depend upon the assets in terms of the agreements that they have. Okay, this is something which is dependent upon these two. This is not nil at all, but yeah, it can be 5, it can be 12 or anything, depending upon the kind. Done? Chaliye. In this case, it is given that $1 is equal to 0.87 euro. If the exchange rate of dollars is this, if the exchange rate of 1 euro is equal to 0.91 GBP, Great Britain pound. They're looking at USD and pound. When the particular sides, matlab if these are same, then we actually divide. When LHS is same, then we divide. When LHS are different, these are different now, everyone, then what we do is we multiply. So kindly multiply this. 0.87 multiplied by 0.91. 0.87 multiplied by 0.91 gives us 7917. Okay, now that is one particular area which we are getting into the specific area of US dollar divided by euro multiplied by euro divided by Great Britain pound. In this case, what's happening? This is euro and euro are cut. We are left with the area of US dollars by GBP. In this case, what you are getting is 0.7917. You have to invert it, everyone. Okay? After this, if you invert it, you get the answer of 1.2631. The answer is B. You have to invert it as well. Achha, there is one mistake that I would like to correct there. 1 US dollar per euro would mean that we are actually looking at the question in certain manner where your points are basically 1 euro is equal to US dollar 0.87 and 1 GBP is equal to US dollars of 0.91. 91, ठीक है, US डॉलर्स पर GBP, US डॉलर्स पर यूरो, ठीक है. So in this case your LHS is different, so you will have to multiply and then you have to invert it as well. This part that I've written was wrong, ठीक है. What is the purpose of accounting rate of return? Capital budgeting. What is the return that we are making? If the percentage is high, it's good. If the percentage is low, it is bad. So the answer is actually A. Done, everyone? All sorted? चलिए then. चलिए, let's look at the next point. What is the primary function of GST Council under GST framework? But the GST Council plays a very important role. GST Council is the council which prepares all the laws. So in this case, when they are preparing all the laws, then we have to look at the answer at 71. ठीक है ना? So if we are looking at the point of question number 71 ना, we're talking about the GST Council is known for to ensure the GST laws, नहीं, to set the GST rates or to offer advice and recommendations. See, councils are there to support the other areas. So can we say that this is to oversee collection? The answer is C. They offer advice and recommendations on issues which are related to GST. Done? Okay, now let's talk about question number 72, which talks about a trader is interested in purchasing a currency currently available at 18% discount. Okay, the currency is available at 18% discount, and in this case there's one more thing. They're asking for acquiring 8,000 worth of this currency. How much the trader needs to spend? 5,000, 650, 5750 or 6250. What's going to be the answer according to you? In this case, can we say if the value is 8,000, that means 100 minus 18%, it is currently at 82%, you know? And if I'm spending 8,000 to get 82% of it, what is the amount that is coming up then? It is 8,000 multiplied by 82%, which is equal to 6560 rupees. So the answer is B. Done, everyone? Chale. Now let's move on to the next question. ABC Limited, a manufacturing firm, aims to determine its contribution margin the only data available to the management including the fixed cost, which is total of 70 lakhs. Okay. The profit of the firm, which amounts to 25 lakh. What is the contribution? Asha, this is a very important area, everyone. This is based upon a formula called sales minus variable cost, which is equal to contribution minus fixed cost, which is equal to profit. I don't know about the sales, I don't know about the variable cost, but I know two things. One is the profit, which is of 25 lakh, and fixed cost, which is of 70 lakh. And they are asking about the contribution. So if I'm going back, then what should I do? Shall I plus or minus? Now I have to plus. है ना? So in this case, the contribution will be 95. Done, everyone. This is 95 lakh minus 70 lakh, giving me an amount of 25 lakhs. So this is the answer. Next question. Evaluate the following statements to identify the incorrect ones concerning spot and forward rates in the forex. We're looking at spot. Spot means the money that we need, that we are paying for the current scenario, immediate payments. Forward is the future ones. So what's going to be the answer? When the spot rate and the forward rate are identical, it is described as being at par. In scenario of direct tax rates, the forward rate exceeds the spot rate. The base currency is considered at a discount. Third point, for direct rates, if the forward rate is lower than the spot, then it is considered as at a discount. In this case, I would say they are asking about the question which says, which among the following is incorrect? See, I would say the first is correct. Spot rate and forward rate, if it's all the same, that means it is equal right now. It is at par. And at the same time, if your future rate is lower, then it means it is, the forward rate is lower than the spot rate. That means it is at discount. So there's only one wrong. That is 2. Everything else is correct. Okay? Now comes the next question. Question number 75. This is a very important question. This is a question based upon the theoretical area. Matlab, sometimes I told you na, in the examination even you should expect the questions based upon read between the lines. This is actually a read between the lines question. It says that which economist is credited for introducing the net income approach within the capital structure theory. Under capital structure theory, this person has given 2 specific important theories: net income and net operating income approach. That is John Maynard Keynes, Maynard Keynes, or David Durant, or Milton Friedman, or Adam Smith. Adam Smith plays a very important role in economics. Keynes is also very important in terms of economics, but the person here is David Durant. Durant is the person who gets the credit of introducing the net income approach in the capital structure theory. See, these kind of questions are like win-win mark. 0.5 is not easy to get in terms of examination. Every single 0.5 marker is super important that you are getting, right? Okay. PQR Limited capital structure is made up of 60% debt and 40% equity, within the cost of 12% of debt and a cost of 18% of equity. What is WACC? Everyone, what is WACC? What's the formula for WACC? The formula is cost of debt into the weight of debt plus cost of equity into the weight of equity. Cost of debt is 60%. Cost of equity is, the weight is, so this is for the weight of 60 and 40. I got the weight earlier, na? And the cost is basically 12. And here it is 18. This comes out to be 7.2. You know? and second is plus 7.2. 14.4% is my answer. What's yours? That's the answer. 14.4%. That is, the answer is C. Chali, let's look at the next question now. Okay, then next question is related to the area of NPV. This is a question of from capital budgeting, everyone. What is the process of NPV method for assessing the investment proposals? Net present value talks about discounted cash flows. It says that discounted cash flows has to be considered. Discounted means you are considering time value of money. And on the basis of time value of money, you are going to record everything. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? It involves comparing of investment future cash flows. It is looking at the present value, or it assesses total cash inflows, or it calculates total profits. See, it is currently including only one thing. That is, they're talking about the time value of money. Time value or discounted value, or it is also called present values. Done. So in this case, the correct answer is going to be B. Okay, then let's move on and talk about the next point. That is question number 78. Question number 78 is from the area of GST, everyone. Chaliye, let's look at the area of GST. What is the turnover threshold for compulsory GST registration in India? 50 lakhs, 100 lakhs, 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs? What's the threshold limit, everyone? See, the threshold limits for goods and services for both, it is a little different. Normally, when we talk about our goods, it is 40 lakh, and for the services, it is 20 lakhs. Okay, goods and services, in fact, now when we talk about 40 lakhs there, which is for the normal states, but this is also there in terms of special category states, it will turn out to be 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs further. Matlab for them, in terms of the special category states, the value would be lesser. So in this case, I think this is better now. So in this case, the answer has to be D, 40 lakhs. Now comes a firm purchased goods worth rupees 90,000, spent 6,000 on the freight towards it. Okay. This is at the end of the year, the cost of goods sold, goods still unsold. This is the closing stock. Sales is also given, and the question is asking about GP, everyone. That is gross profit of the firm. What do we do in this case, everyone? If a firm purchased goods worth rupees 90,000. So these are purchases. And let's find out the cost of goods sold first, everyone. Opening stock is not given, so that means we purchased goods worth rupees 90,000, spent 6,000 further for the freight, and the goods that are still with us is 12,000. So the total cost of goods sold turns out to be 90,000 plus 6,000 minus 12,000. The current price is rupees 84,000. Done. If the value is 84,000 of cost, then how do we find our sales? Sales is basically 1,20,000 minus, this is a sales, 1,20,000 is a sales. From the sales, remove this 84,000. What will we get? Minus 1,20,000 will give us 36,000. So my answer turns out to be A. It is always better not to look at the answers if you know the how to solve the numerical. Get your answer and then see it. Because the question will determine whether you know it or not. We have done a lot of questions on cost of goods sold, everyone, today. That means you should be very well versed with this topic right now. If you aren't, then note down the formula and keep on reminding yourself every single day for a couple of days. Then you will get bored with it and you will remember it forever. That's the way of learning. Opening stock, closing stock is given and cost is given. Now they're asking you what is the purchases. Now, but they can actually give one case study out of which they can give you multiple things to find out. So in this case, COGS is equal to 28,000. You have 28,000 of cost of goods sold. Once you have got the cost of goods sold, they're giving the opening and closing stock as well. What's the formula for cost, everyone? Cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock, right? Isn't this the formula? So in this case, cost of goods sold is 28,000 is equal to 5,000 plus, I don't know about the purchases, but I know about the closing stock. That is 2,700. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? The 28,000 has to be deducted. Let's take the 5,000 and 2,700 there. So minus 5,000 and plus 2,700 gives us the value of 25,300. Sorry, 25,700. This is my answer. The best way to solve a question is to actually find the values and then look out for the solution. In case you do not know, then you have to use elimination method. I don't think this is the answer. I don't think that is the answer. That point should be there then. Okay? Next question. This question is related to the area of periods of inflation. The impact of change in the method of valuation of inventories from LIFO to FIFO will cause. What is FIFO and LIFO, everyone? FIFO and LIFO. LIFO is last in, first out, and FIFO is first in and first out. चलिए, in this case when we talk about FIFO and LIFO ना, पता है LIFO is a method which is not even used in terms of multiple areas. It is said to be such a method which is actually not useful in terms of inflation. So in this case, what will happen? Increase in profit or decrease in cost of goods sold. See, if I'm moving from a situation where your closing stock was almost LIFO, last in first out, the value of the closing stock is very, very low. When you have very low closing stock na, then your profit is always less. This is in case of LIFO, everyone. During LIFO, your profit is very less because your closing stock is less. So the profit is less, and if your profit is less, even there is a cost, the cost is high. If your expenses are high, then only your profit would be less, na? If your profits are supposed to be less, then your cost has to be high. है ना? So keeping the sales constant there. So in this case, can we say if we move out from LIFO, both the things will come into our favor? That means increase in profits and decrease in cost. है ना? Rest everything is actually confusing, so you can read it out. Decrease in profits, increase in cost of goods sold, increase in profits, decrease in the value of closing stock, decrease in profit and decrease in the value of closing stock. Done? Now comes the next question. In a period of inflation, everyone, which inventory method would be considered suitable by the accountant to compute the current market cost? LIFO method, FIFO method, simple average, and then is weighted average. Inflation. I told you under inflation, one particular method which is useless is LIFO. It is not even considered anywhere. In this case, they are talking about, acha nahi, but this is not asking about the using of the method. Na? Actually, in the period of inflation, which inventory cost gives you current market cost? Actually, now under LIFO, during inflation, using LIFO is not suggested at all. But unfortunately, if I look at all these methods, na, there's only one method which is giving us current market cost. Reason? LIFO. Last in, first out. That means whatever is going out is at current price, not at the price that was earlier there. So that means last in, just bought and just gone. So when this thing is happening, everything is at the cost which is going on today. Because we can cry then na कि देखिए इतनी inflation हो गई, there's so much of inflation that our costs are high. वैसे तो this particular method has a loophole. If we go for LIFO, then our profits are actually underrated and the cost is overrated. But the question is not asking about the benefits or the disadvantages of it. It is clearly asking to compute the current market cost. As per current market cost, there is only one point, that is LIFO method. In finance, working capital means the same thing as dash assets, everyone. Current, fixed, total, or all of the above. Everyone, what's going to be the answer? In the finance area, working capital means what? Working capital means current, fixed, total. The formula for working capital is actually current assets minus current liabilities. ठीक है? So when we say current assets minus current liabilities, then we are considering only the current areas. If we are given only current assets, it's called gross working capital. Gross working capital is equal to current assets, and net working capital is equal to CA minus CL. Next question. If a company experiences a sudden increase in demand and doubles its production of the gadgets, which cost element is likely to increase significantly but not in direct proportion of the production increase? Everyone, what's going to be the answer? What's going to be the answer in this case, everyone? We're talking about the area of demand. If the demand doubles, then what will happen? If the demand is determined, then what will happen? Is it the cost of microchips or direct labor, cost of electricity or rent? Rent remains the same, whatever you produce. It doesn't matter, na? Sudden increase in demand. If the increase in demand is there and doubles its production of gadgets, if we are increasing the gadgets that we are producing, gadgets are more or less made from machines more than the labor area. So it cannot be microchips or the cost of direct labor. It is going to be C. ठीक है? Electricity cost will increase a lot. Done, everyone? So the answer is actually C, because the last one is actually a fixed cost. Fixed cost remains the same. Whatever you do, it remains the same. Done. Next question. This is a question from capital budgeting. Given the project lifespan of 5 years with estimated annual profits of first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year, and initial investment of 20 lakhs, what is the specific area of our average rate of return, everyone? ARR. See, when we talk about average rate of return, you need the average of the profits. So in this case, there are 5-year profits. First is 50,000, second is 52, third is 56, fourth is 58, and fifth is 62, and then divided by 5. This will give you average profits and divided by initial investments multiplied by 100. Everyone? What's going to be the answer? It is 50,000 plus 52,000 plus 56,000 plus 58 and plus 62, giving us a total of 2,78,000 divided by 5. Average comes out to be 55,600. Now use this 55,600 and divided by the initial investment of 20 lakhs. Not a very significant amount, I would say. This is divided by 2, 20 lakhs. Achha, there's one more problem. If I go for 20 lakhs, the answer matches with none of them. It comes out to be 2.78. That means if they're taking average over the above, they're taking average below as well. Average below means you are taking this 20 lakh and then to take the average, you will have to divide this by 2 as well. So this becomes 10 lakh. So the answer, now it matches to 5.56. Everybody got the idea? My answer comes out to be 5.56. Done? Chaliye, let's move on to the next question. Identify the characteristics of the lease contract from the options below. A lease is a legally binding agreement detailing terms under which one party consents to use the assets of the other party. It is actually an agreement, and yes, it is legally binding as well. Among the following, identify the characteristics. Okay, the agreement secures the lessee's right to use. There are two people. Lessor is the owner. Lessee is the one who wants to have it. है ना? One party wants to have it and one party has it. So in this case, what will happen? The agreement secures the lessee's right to use the property and ensures the lessor receives steady payments over the defined term in the property usage. Leases vary from residential leases, typically uniform for all renters, to commercial lease, which may differ significantly. See, under commercial uses, and obviously there's one particular difference between commercial and the residential use. That is, I think in commercial area the usage would be higher. That is correct even. So I don't think among the first three I could find any wrong point. Terminating a lease agreement prematurely, if I want to end it before time na, then obviously it will call us for legal penalties. This is also true. So in this case, all of the above is the answer. Now comes the next. Which option best describes the function of valuation within the standard costing framework? Valuation's main role to differentiate, determine, document the real cost of the profits. Next is, valuation aims to start corrective measures in areas with discrepancies. Valuation is involved in examination of discrepancies and identification of their reasons. Or valuation deals with the area of standard costing in terms of material, labor, overheads, and production cost. So in this case, I would go for D. Valuation deals with establishing the standard cost for material, labor, and overheads. Done. What portion of SENVAT credit utilized in inputs, input services, and capital goods must banks and NBFCs reverse under the GST framework? The 25%, 50%, 75% or 100%. The SENVAT credit that is utilized on inputs. SENVAT credit is basically if you have paid the GST, then it is covered under this. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? 25, 50, 75 or 100. In terms of SENVAT, in terms of capital goods, this is clearly defined that you can get the SENVAT of 50% only at one point of time. So the answer is 50%. NBFC is reversed under GST framework. Then comes next question. These are all questions from the module D itself, everyone. What is the significant purpose of cost and management accounting? To serve the substitute in financial accounting to ensure accurate maintenance of financial records or to facilitate information for the best use of resources or to determine the profit margins. What's going to be the answer, everyone? What is the significant purpose of cost and management accounting? When we talk about cost and management accounting, it is basically accepting the fact that every time we want to earn, we have to incur the expense as well. So in this case, the answer is going to be C, to facilitate information for the best use of the resources. In which scenarios is the unit or single output costing deemed appropriate, given its limitations and applicability across the various industries? In case where an enterprise manufactures a single product in bulk through the continuous production, in situations where output units are identical in nature, in circumstances where products are uniform, or when an enterprise produces several variants of a single product. What's going to be the answer, everyone? Only A is correct. Single or unit output is basically to the rate of toys. So for example, if you and I are making toys, then in terms of toys, we can produce n number of toys at one point of time. So there's one particular thing which is produced. Single output can also be so that case to the rate of batch costing. If I create different kind of toys, but what if I make sugar? That is a unit costing. I will keep continue making sugar. So answer is only A, B, B and D, or A, B, C, D. You are making one particular thing in bulk. It is just being continued for a long period of time. For example, brick kilns as well, right? So when we talk about brick kilns, the particular bricks are being made in that particular, they are baked. So then it is being continued. So it is in bulk. Agreed? In situations where the output units are identical in nature, the output is bricks. Then in the kilns, they are preparing it, and in circumstances where the products are uniform, there's no change in the bricks there. There's one particular stencil making it and baking it. Then when an enterprise produces several variants, when we produce one particular area, I think if in terms of 90, when enterprise produces several variants of a single product, when we are trying to look forward to this, a single output costing, so overall it is A, B and C are correct. D is somewhat dicey, but there is no option where I can say that it is A, B and C, so I'll have to go with D. Okay? Normally one particular product is being prepared without any variation or something. That is what they specify in this area. It is being continued for a long period of time. Right? Then identify which of the following scenarios qualify as an error of commission. A credit sale of goods to Mr. Sanjay for rupees 720 was recorded in the sales journal but is entered as 270 when the post is posted to Sanjay's account. Goods are purchased on credit from Mr. A, but the transaction was not recorded in purchase journal. The sum of printing and stationery account was overstated, while the total of rent account was understated. Goods were sold on credit to Mr. A, but the transaction was not recorded in sales journal. What's going to be the answer, everyone? They're asking about error of commission. Error of commission is basically a kind of error which talks about Ram written as Sham. There's some entry where I was supposed to write 10,000. I wrote 1,000. So the problem is in the amounts there. The switching of the amounts. This happens even. Huh? So in this case, I think the rest is, this is omission. You forgot to record it altogether. Not recorded. Then overset or underset is the clerical errors. But the transaction was not recorded. It is not even recorded. It is again omission. That is called omission. That is to forget. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? The answer is going to be A. The answer is 91. Calculate the profit for the current accounting period based on the following details. The total contract cost is 8,000. The estimated cost for the contract is 400 lakhs with accumulated profit of 50 lakhs. The incurred cost is 200 lakhs. 80 lakhs, 75, 50 or 100. What's going to be the answer? When we talk about this area, we're given the current accounting period based on the details. The contract is of 800 lakhs. Estimated profit, this is the profit is around 400 lakhs. This is the cost and this is your profit total. And the accumulated profit that we have done is given. You have to calculate the profit for the current accounting period, everyone. This is called contract costing. First of all, just look at the portion of the work completed till date. Now, if your estimated profit is 400 lakhs and this is based upon this, so we are getting currently out of the cost that I was supposed to incur was 800 lakhs and I am done with 200. This is one particular part. I am done with 200 out of 800. That means if I look at the work done is just 25%. When the work done is 25%, then what will you do? The work done is 25%. Then the estimated profit of the contract is, your work done till now is 25%. So even the total profit is of 400. Then how much of work is done? Work done is equal to 200 divided by 100. So in this case, 400 multiplied by 25% into 400. The answer is basically 100 lakhs. The answer is matching with point number D. Done. Next question. The term perception there. Let's look at the question. Visible? Okay, this is a question of depreciation, sorry. The depreciation refers to the accounting method. Depreciation is what? Things are getting old. So just because it is getting old, their value is getting lesser and lesser every year. They're tangible or physical. The depreciation represents how much an asset value has been used, and the main causes of depreciation are wear and tear, passage of time without actual use, obsolescence, accidents, fall in market price. When we talk about, see, in terms of this area, many things happen. Wear and tear happens. Things are getting older because we're using it. Passage of time without actual use is also there. Obsolescence, it is getting old. Sometimes due to accidents, even there are damages which cannot be recovered. So it's like, okay, fine, the thing is getting older further. Fall in the market price, so in this case, the answer is D. How does the batch costing differ from job costing and process costing? Job costing is a situation where we talk about the area of I'm giving you a customized order of making, you are, okay, someone is basically a furniture dealer. I'm giving them the order to make couches for my office place of maybe brown color. Okay, brown or beige. So in this case, they will have to prepare couches maybe around 4 or 5. I can give that order, and you can give an order ki nahi, I want a particular sofa set for my house. So you can also do that. So that is job costing. Then process is basically you have gone through multiple processes. For example, paper making. Multiple processes involved. Batch costing is what? Batch costing is basically you're making batches of toys, of different things. You are preparing of goods as well. That is also covered here. Batch costing calculates cost per individual unit, whereas job costing and process costing on the cost is batches. Batch costing is employed for bespoke products, while job and process costing are for mass. Batch is for batches where each units are identical. In contrast, where accounts for variations are there. Batch costing is exclusive, while job and process have different applications. What's going to be the answer according to you, everyone? See, under batch, if I'm making blue colored toys, I'll continue making blue wale toys only. Blue colored toys which are all identical. Then in job costing, there is customization. In process costing, every process is different. You don't go through one process, you go through multiple processes. Isn't it? So every process has a different impact altogether. Done? Chaliye, let's look at the next question now. A firm retails a product of price 50. The fixed cost amount to 35,000. The cost incurred is 20 rupees. Then determine the profit for the company. Firm's retail of a product price is 50. Selling price is rupees 50. Fixed cost is given, but from the selling price always remove the variable cost. Variable cost is 20. You're left with 30 rupees. 30 into how many units are we selling, everyone? 3,000. So in this case, 30 into 3. 90,000 is the total contribution. Why do I calculate total contribution here? Because we have always have total fixed cost. Total fixed cost is 35k. That is 90,000 minus 35,000. This gives us a profit of 55,000. Done. Fill in the blank, everyone. This is a typical question. See, the determination of whether an expense is to be considered capital or revenue in nature can often hinge on its dash. Longevity, frequency, magnitude, or purpose. As if fixed assets are used in terms of their longevity. We use them for a long period of time. So that can be the first one. But at the same time, do I buy a car every single day? No, I don't. So that means it can also be frequency. So I'm keeping magnitude and purpose out of it. If an expense is dash, non-recurring, in terms of with regularity, such as purchase of raw material, but raw material is regular, so this has to be a recurring one. So here, I think we're getting the answer in the first 2 points only. In the payment, it is categorized as a revenue expense. And the one which are not frequently done are called capital expenditures. So that's the difference between revenue and capital expenditures. Then comes which of the following statements are true. Marginal costing is not independent. Marginal costing, all elements of cost are divided into fixed and variable. In marginal costing, fixed cost is treated as product cost. Marginal costing is not unique to cost analysis. Which is correct, everyone? Marginal costing also is a variable cost. है ना? Marginal costing gets costing in marginal costing, yes, they're divided into fixed and variable, and we consider the variable. So first one, okay, marginal costing is not an independent system of costing. That's the first point now. So in this case, when we talk about A, it is true, it is just dependent upon one particular area, that is variable cost. So this part is true. B is what? It is also talking about fixed and variable. This is also true. Marginal costing, fixed is there? No, it is variable. So this is false. Marginal costing is not a technique of cost analysis. It is traditional and marginal is there. Absorption costing and marginal costing. So in this case, the A and B are correct. So if A and B are correct, that's the point. Done, everyone? Just reaching the end of the session, everyone. What is the primary function of system mentioned in the context of the inter-branch or head office transactions? To facilitate faster communication between branches and head office to enhance customer service, to monitor and review the financial performance for each branch, then to observe and identify entries through inter-branch or head office channels, ensuring that only transactions to inter-branch are recorded, to automate the reconciliation of inter-branch to reduce the workload. This is a part of the theoretical area where we are talking about the computerized working. Obviously, the computers have made it a boon for the working, but obviously, what do we do in terms of inter-branch working? Inter-branch means there are two branches which are talking about it. They have a channel. They either talk to each other by their own, or they will be connecting themselves through the through each other or through head office. Every transaction has to be recorded in certain manner that both the transactions, both the parties are recording it at once. So there is no problem which is occurring. Which among the following are included in the scope of IS audit? IS audit is basically information system audit. Determining the effectiveness of planning and oversight of activities, evaluating the adequacies of operating processes and internal control, determining the adequacy of enterprise-wide compliance efforts relating to IT policies and internal control policies. Then is identifying deficient control, recommending corrective action to address deficiencies and follow up, ensuring that the management effectively implements the required actions. What's going to be the answer? The answer in this case is going to be among the IAS audit, IT activities are there. Internal controls have to be seen, operating processes has to be studied, IT compliances have to be made, and deficient controls, recommending corrective actions. All these things are a part of it. So answer is D. Characteristics accurately describes a fixed budget. Fixed budget is basically the amount we have to pay in any case. The fixed budget remains unchanged in relation to the actual activity achieved through the practice, or it may be revised due to significant shifts in the business conditions, or if actual operations markedly differ from what was initially planned. See, fixed budgets are basically the amount that we are supposed to pay in any case. This amount has to be paid even if we like it or not. So in this case, it is true thereof during the periodic reviews, comparing budget to actual cost, it is not adjusted to reflect an actual level of activity. Fixed budgets are usually formulated for a shorter duration and during which the actual and budgeted outputs are expectedly to close and aligned. Okay, let's talk about the fixed budget. Fixed budget will talk about what? Fixed budget remains unchanged. This is true. If there are changes, then only we'll record it. It is prepared, predetermined. The level is also fixed. The floating budgets are basically the ones in which we are making multiple outputs. So this is correct. During the period of comparing the budget to actual cost, it is not adjusted to reflect the actual activity. Yes, it is just following the particular fixity. Fixed budgets are usually formatted for a short duration. In shorter duration, things remain fixed. That is also true. So in this case, the answer is B. So that's it, everyone. This is where we end our all the 100 questions of our analysis there. I hope this was helpful for you, and if this was, then please share the session among your peers and don't forget to like it as well. Before I end my session, everyone, there's one more thing I would like to request. If you are planning to purchase our courses, then please go ahead and check it out on our website, that is www.adda247.com. Then go on to the area of JIB and CIB. Go on to the area of JIB May 2024. Our Mahapacks are available here, accounting and financial management. Batches are here. All the things are available for you, be it numerical batches, be it our crash courses. Everything is available. So kindly check it out on our website or in our app for further details. All you need to do is, if you are looking for our crash course, then click on the area of buy now, use the code Y541. Okay, just use the code Y541 and you will get it for 4599.77. So you will get it for lesser price, that is 78% if you are using our app as well. So kindly check it out on our website, on our app for further details. Thank you so much for being there. Please share the session and don't forget to revise all these questions, as it is very, very important that we deal with our studies in a harder way, and at the same time we are giving our best foot forward. That's it for the day, everyone. Thank you so much.